Yeah. What's going on, man? Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
We're on the other side now, 2024, man. We're excited, man. Gonna bring you a lot of news, a lot of podcasts, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We on Instagram Live now with Jerome. We got Twitch, we got YouTube, Twitter, everything, man. So first and foremost, let's start there, fellas. Y'all hit us in the comment section down below too. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on all the YouTube channels. All that's linked below. Start with you, Bacon. What is your first and foremost starting tonight?
Man, first and foremost, got to be Juju Wynn out of Greene County at the MCA Rising Senior Showcase. Set the whole showcase on fire. He's had a little buzz around his name for a little minute now, but I just seen him, and I'm sure a lot of people just seen him this past week. And man, super powerful defensive lineman, so has to be my first and foremost. East side of Georgia, Juju Wynn, man.
What about you, Jerome?
Do I need to say anything else? Go Blue. Let's go. I love it, man. That was an epic game yesterday, man. I couldn't ask for a better college football playoffs in general. I mean, yesterday was just so fun to watch both those games. I would be lying if I didn't say that my heart was in my nether regions the entire time because I had no idea how that game was going to go. I was scared. I was excited. I was going through so many emotions through that daggone game. By the time the game was over, I was exhausted. I was tired. I was trying to finish out that last game, and I just couldn't because I was so exhausted from watching the first game. I watched most of it done. I caught up with the highlights, but man, it was a good night of football. If you guys love football, man, and you love college football, yesterday was so fun to watch.
Facts. Yeah, my first and foremost also goes on the college realm. It's a part tour. First part, got to give some love, obviously, to Michigan. I didn't think they would beat Bama, but I'm giving credit where credit is due. That's the kind of guy I am. If I'm wrong on the take, I will come out and say I was wrong and give credit where credit is due. So I'm giving the love now to Michigan. And the quick thing on that game I just want to talk about real quick is just the physicality, man. That really took me by surprise, man. They was able to, one of my notes in that game was being able to pressure Milroe, man. I think they had 5 sacks in that game, made them feel uncomfortable. I mean, all that makes sense, man. And that was the key, and we saw it. I wouldn't say he got rattled, but you could see the difference in the game. He was second-guessing a little bit. You know, that physicality Michigan played with that defense, it kept them in the game when they were man, offensively, start that game, man, they were struggling. But that defense felt
shout out to my boy Caleb Downs, bro. Like,
he balled
even though that boy stepped out, man, that's what Caleb Downs as a freshman, man. I'm like, dude, we're going to lose to a guy that I know from Georgia, man. What the heck? So shout out to Caleb.
And then my part two real quick is just Michael Penix Jr., man. That dude, I don't get the comp today, man. What Michael Irvin called him Michael Vick. It's not a Michael Vick, man. He's not that elusive. He's not that fast. He's more of a beat you in the pocket kind of a guy. Great accuracy, great awareness, great deep ball, but he can't scrum out of the pocket when he needs to. That kid's off the chain, man. You can almost make the argument, Jerome, he might have got snubbed from the Heisman. No disrespect to Jaden Daniels.
But
what he's able to do, 430-plus passing yards, hey, man, he might have got snubbed, man. He's that good. And the experience of the quarterback, last thing, the experience of the quarterbacks, Jerome, really showed in this playoff. Guys that have been there, done that. J.J. McCarthy from lost TCU, came back. You've seen it in that game. And then Michael Penix experience at Washington.
I heard another comparison, and you might like this. Joe Burrow. I like that comparison.
Joe Burrow?
Boy, he can run if he really wanted to. Joe Burrow can run. People don't think that he can run. He can run. He knows how to run. Is that like the same situation that Penix is in? He was a running quarterback at first. I know him from playing in Indiana. So Michigan had to play him before. He was a running quarterback. And then, he got injured a little bit. And then he wound up starting to pass the ball and learn how to pass the ball and escape in the pocket a little bit. And you only run when he needs to it. I feel like that's the same thing with Joe Burrow, especially when he's in the NFL. He got injured in the NFL that he started passing him more instead of being, trying to run and stuff. So I think that was a great comparison in my opinion. So
100% agree, man. So that is the first and foremost, man, for you guys. We got special guests coming on today, Josiah Smith, coming on from Noonan, the linebacker. He should join us momentarily. And we also, guys, got another special guest from Unlock Your Game from Alabama, man. So we're going to give you kind of the Southeast kind of latest. He's going to give us some insight into Alabama. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do, y'all. We're trying to cover it all. Obviously, all three of us are stationed here in Georgia. We're trying to cover all the Georgia news. But now we're trying to expand a little bit to the Southeast also and get some Bama news in there. Probably start to try to get a little bit of Florida news. I know my guy Jerome has a good connection with IMG Academy and what they're able to do. So we're going to be continuing to do that, man. But I think with Jerome, you ready for him to come on?
You ready?
Let's rock.
Get him in here, Josiah Smith. What's going on, my guy? Okay, I can hear you. I can't see you. That's crazy. Anybody else can see him?
Can't see him.
Can't see him.
Can't hear him.
It's not you. It's the thing. Just I'm sorry. I'm not sure why.
I can hear him now.
I can hear him. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just got back from wrestling practice.
He's a grinder.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you keep talking while I try to figure this out, man.
Yeah, but just it's been a couple of weeks since I've been doing wrestling. I took a break, went to the
there you go.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
To go to the Rising Seer again with my friend. Hopefully I'll be able to get invited next year. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it was amazing opportunity.
What got you into wrestling? This is your first year doing wrestling, brother?
No, I did it last year. Freshman, I think the coach reached out to me. Said come try wrestling. I did pretty good. I think I went 9-1. My only loss was, I think, my first varsity match, and it was a real good kid. And so I learned from there, and then finished out the year undefeated. So got a couple medals and stuff for some tournaments. But yeah,
nice. Tough. Well, obviously you just told the people you're a wrestler, but kind of just tell the people a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to those who don't know the great person on and off the field who Josiah Smith is, brother.
Okay. My name is Josiah Smith. Class of 2026. I'm in the 10th grade. I get all A's. I made the honor roll. National Honor Society. I think that's what it is. National Honor Society. Big. I think 3.8 GPA. Got, I think, 1 AP credit right now for college. I've been playing football since I was 5. I know how to play the piano too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a big sport guy. Yeah.
Speaking of being a big sports guy, man, I heard through the grapevine, you know what I'm saying, you got a little Jackie Robinson in you stole home back in your Little League days, man. So what's up? You got the Brave shirt on?
So yeah, I played baseball, baseball and basketball. Basketball I dropped off a little bit earlier, but baseball I kept going until last year. Broke my ankle trying out for the high school team. I was some kid hit a ground out, but I was just running the second, was gonna go slide in, just knew it from impact that I broke my ankle. Right after that, I went to the hospital, told me I broke my fibula, and that was it. Surgery, I missed out on spring, and that's why I'm glad that I am here now. So I know I can get back into spring, meet some of the coaches that came down here, finally get that opportunity back again. So
for sure. So you was kind of just getting up to speed. So like playing last weekend at the MCA, in the practice, a little bit in the game. I'm assuming I wasn't there Saturday, but just talk a little bit about your experience. What did you learn, and what was your feedback from the coaches?
My experience there, when I like the speakers taught us a lot about what to do on and off the field. Well, mostly off. Told us about social media, keep your stuff clean, don't be messing with girls and stuff like that. Just keeping everything clean, and then your presence with everybody else and how you treat others, because they can come back and might you want a job and they end up being the one that you were acting mean to, and so you that job. So stuff like that. But football wise, they taught me different techniques, how to block shed stuff. And then it was just the players there. Obviously they're a little bit bigger than bigger than the people I usually go against. A lot of talent there, so it was good going up against those group of guys and like having to like kind of get my muscle up and start like I got to get at it because these guys are a little bit bigger than me. So it was cool. It was a great experience for that.
Most definitely. I didn't know you missed spring, but Noonan had a down year this year. But you still were what's it, fourth on the team in solo tackles. That's impressive in itself, man. So just you play a linebacker. Just from watching your film, man, you got a great burst. You read the backfield real well. So what kind of got you to where you're at right now, skill wise, man?
Skill wise, I think I found it. My skill was 7th grade. 7th grade, I was 203 and like 5'8", so I was real chunky and fat from that COVID, and so got in summer of 7th grade, and I think it was Coach Brown at the time. He coaches at Paulding County now, but got in there. He was the weight training coach, and got in there first month of gym. We only got because I went to the Noonan High School camp, the kids camp.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, you come on to the workouts, we'll help you out and stuff. And so got in there. And I think first month I was doing 225 at the end of the first month and I was like repping it. And I was like, that's when I knew like I could do something. So 8th grade year, I was going to 8th grade year, like I can do something here. And so 8th grade year, I think I averaged 10 tackles a game in middle school.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew I was playing Mike. So I was like, oh yeah, I know I'm finna go crazy. So going into 9th grade, I was like, I got all this. I cut down weight. I'm going into this. And after that, I just shoot off. I knew they moved me to the outside, I think, outside at nickel at Sam. And I just could read it from like looking outside in. I had to learn how to like read, like if the option, like how the quarterback, if the running back's to your side, you got to play quarterback and all that stuff. It was just a great coaching that was around me. And then learning from Ashton, he also helped me out a lot too.
Yeah, Ashton Hampton, yeah. Was a Georgia Tech player. I think he's transferred somewhere else this year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He's in the portal, I think, right now.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, kid, you smart. You know what I'm saying? For those who watch, you can definitely hear it in this conversation, the way he breaks it down. We got a comment. I can't really see it right now, but moving on to the next couple questions. You know what I'm saying? You're no stranger to being around big players. You know what I'm saying? With Rodney Colton right now, one of the highest rated 2026s, as well as you met Trav at the 2022 Hero South 707. So just talk a little bit about that interaction with Trav.
Interaction. So we were at a tournament. 7-on-7 tournament, and I keep hearing people around me like Travis is here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so we start seeing like a group of people just start walking up, and we're like, oh snap! And then we see him, we're like, oh, he's coaching the team. So we walk over there, get a couple of pitches because it's like it was Travis Hunter, and so
right.
Like he was a great player. He's a great player still. I mean, we were like great. Getting that picture was great for me because I was like, that's like one of the people that was like, also you could watch, like you just go watch film on, and so you like learn new techniques, how he does this, how does he do that, and stuff like that. And Ronnie, Ronnie is a good teammate too. He sometimes I gotta help him out a little bit, you know, but he's got all the talent in the world. He really doesn't need much. He's really just all around player. So, but I help him out, he helps me out, and we just help each other out at the end of the day. So.
That's it. That's the way it should be, man. But last couple of questions from me, and I'm gonna pass it to the brothers because I know that they itching to ask you a question, man. Going into your junior season, that's right. Going into your junior season, what's some goals for yourself? What you want to improve on? What type of offers you want to bring in? Just what you want to do with some of these New Year's resolutions that you got.
So, New Year's resolution is definitely got to ball out. So last year I got 1 pick, so I'm thinking 3 picks this year. maybe five picks.
Yeah.
90 tackles. Got to get some more tackles. I think I need to show out this spring because of all the time I missed. I think if I was in spring last year, I would have had all the offers. Because I think I would have had all the skills that would have impressed the coaches. And so I definitely know I got them now. So I think just get better, keep getting my weight up, keep benching, keep staying in the weight room, just keep improving, and definitely get some O's at this summer during the spring, and just ball out next season. Get first team, all region, all state, all that.
Facts. I forgot to mention, man. Honorable mention. Region 5, 6A. Want to put that out there for you, man. Congratulations on that. Last question, 2-part question for me. What 7-on-7 team are you playing with this year? And do you feel like you got a chip on your shoulder, man? Do you feel like you got anything to prove? I know you talked about you want to get some offers and stuff like that, but do you feel like you got to prove any doubters wrong?
Definitely. I think I got to prove myself. Because I definitely got to prove myself that I can still play at the level I was before I got injured. I don't think my sophomore season was as good as I thought it could have been, but I knew it was good from just getting back, but I think it could have been better. So I just think I should just take it upon myself to just improve. 7-on-7 team, I'll play for MCA of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And with Coach Tinker and Coach Savani. So yeah.
All right, we'll be on the lookout for you, man. Y'all got anything to ask the young stud, man?
Definitely, man. Before we ask you, man, we got a couple of guys in the chat room. So if you got any questions for Josiah as well, definitely put it in the chat room. We definitely put it on the screen. Like Josiah's teammate, he said, I think his last name's Nichols. Can't say it. Yeah. He's in here. He said that's my teammate. Get back this year. So,
what is his fat?
Yeah, it's fat.
So if anybody else want to put some comments or ask a question to Josiah, you can definitely do that as well. But Josiah, man, you looking good right now. Look, you working out, man. What's your height and weight right now?
Height, I'm 5'10", 200 right now. 5'10", 200. Mostly because of wrestling. But my weight, at first I was 190, but I just realized that it wasn't good for me at my position at linebacker, and I'm gonna have to bump the weight up because the old linemen are gonna get bigger and bigger. So I just realized that I gotta just bump all the way up. So I moved up to 215. So I'm just trying to itch closer and closer to that, while also not trying to just get fat and also like keep the muscle and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good idea because these linemen are starting to come up to the second level now. So you need to get a little bit more strength now with those linemen coming up to you guys first. My next question is, you were talking about playing at different positions at the linebacker position. How kind of moving around helped you at your overall play at linebacker, you think?
It helped me learn to just be ready for anything. So if they need me, I think we were in a 3-4 at the beginning of the year. I was playing Jack on the outside, and then second game they moved me into the inside. And so it just taught me to always be ready and prepared because you never know where you're going to play. And so I just feel like at this point, I know if they need me here, I can play it. If they need me here, if they need me on the D line, safety, corner, I feel like I can play it now because nickel allows me to play a little bit of both. But it makes me play more of the coverage side. So I'm more like a DB at some points in time. And then on the inside, it's you got to be a run stuffer, stop the run. And it just allows me to play both. It just makes me great at all positions on the field.
Okay. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer. I think I'm better at Mike. Yeah. I think I'm better at Mike, but I like nickel because it's also an advantage because I noticed most of the receivers I go against, they're not real big and stuff. I haven't yet to meet one that was really big and could block. So the receivers can't block me when I'm at nickel, but I know in the mic it's a little harder, but I can fit through the gaps and stuff because I can move and stuff. So it's a little bit easier. I like Mike though. Definitely like Mike.
Definitely, man. Definitely. You got something?
Yeah, man. I want to ask you. Obviously, we see a lot in kind of college football. You have to be able to have that versatility, right? We see it more in high school now too, right? As you mentioned, playing in different positions. So, talk a little bit about the coverages, right? Obviously, in high school, you got the cover threes. Won't see cover two so much. Kind of see some shell and stuff like that. But talk about having to guard sometimes those big athletic tight ends that are only getting better and better here, especially here in the state of Georgia. You got about 6 or 7 guys that are top 100 targets here in Georgia. So talk about having to play that in coverage and what you have to be prepared for, just playing against those guys that are real athletic and playing them in zone coverage.
So mentally, our coverage is a little bit different. We actually take the backside safety and man him to the number 3. If he goes vertical, he has to take him. But sometimes I like to, if I see it, I might just go get it. I think one play this year against East Paulding, I caught a pick. There was a tight end, number 3. He ran a hitch. I saw it. I broke on it. Thought I was going to break it up. I ended up pulling the ball out, so I got a pick. But realized that it was like sometimes it's like you got to let him have it, but sometimes it's like it's so far away. Like him getting to that hitch wouldn't have happened. And so that would have been like a first down or something. And so that changed the game because it gave us the ball back, gave us the momentum. But yeah, so I think sometimes if it's like a long distance, if it's a seam that he's got to like wait to hold it, I think I'll let him get it. But if it's like a short down the distance and it's like he can just throw it right now, I might hold it and just wait for that because I already know it's coming because they always run it every team I think we've played runs like the same type of scheme against us. So I usually see it from there. So.
Nice, man. And great breakdown by you. I always wonder with linebackers, like how do you kind of know like when to take it and when to not? So great breakdown from you, especially to our audience. I want to ask you, man, I know you talked about bulking up and getting bigger. We definitely see it now. So kind of talk about it's kind of your nutrition, man. Like how is the eating going and things like that? How often do you work out? You're working out 6 days a week? Are you doing 2 a days? Like I know you say you want to get bigger. So how does that workout regimen look like? And how does kind of your diet and nutrition kind of look like to get all that together so you're ready?
So I on a regular before the break. So this is a regular day. We go weight training. I usually had weight training and wrestling back to back. So as soon as I got done with weight training, because I think we like maxed out towards the end. So we maxing out, doing all the weights and stuff. So I'm coming out sweating, but I gotta go straight from that to straight to wrestling. So like there's like no breaks after that. So I usually eat like a big meal, like a pasta, some chicken, definitely a lot of protein so I can put that stuff back in my system. Water, definitely got to drink water. And then I just keep the weight heavy, or not as heavy, but just make sure I'm like not skipping reps, making sure I'm getting all the reps, keeping the percentages, how the coach wants it. But yeah, I just really coach. Our strength coach is the best strength coach in Georgia. He's the best strength coach in Georgia. Coach Dano is literally the best. He keeps us right.
Talk a little bit about him and that relationship you got with your strength coach. How that's just affected you and helped your game out and players on your team.
So I think he was there 8th grade when I got there in the spring. That was his first year. I knew from then. When I first met him, I said he's crazy. Like he is crazy. When you see him, he's like absolutely wild. But once I started getting a relationship with him, it was like he's just trying to make us better. He's just passionate about it, and so it was really like he always keeps us pushing, keeps us going, makes us better. Always pushes me to get better, make sure I get all my reps, maybe even a little more reps. Make sure I if he's like that was a little easy, how about you put a little bit more on there? And then if I don't get it, he'll be like, just go down a little bit. He helps us with that type of stuff, like making sure we get the most out of everything we do.
Love that, man. And then going back to 7-on-7, right? We always talk to quarterbacks and receivers, and they always talk about the importance of just repping up, right? Being able to rep, getting the timing down, those reps getting in. From your perspective, talk about how it helps a linebacker coming in, because I feel like we don't explore that enough. But how does that help you? Does that help you more with coverages? When you're going into the season, you'll be able to see, okay, hey, they're running this. I know kind of how to read and react. Like, how does that help you from a linebacker perspective playing in the 7v7?
Playing in 7v7, it's a lot of more So like that man-on-man type aspect, that definitely gets me better. The coverages, covering one-on-one, that's what it helps me with. It definitely does. It improves my zone too. Reading the quarterback's eyes, like when he's looking this way, making sure I don't overly commit because he could just be looking me off to throw it to the slant coming back door. So then I know that that definitely helps with that. Covering sometimes I think my first year I had to cover a reclass. He was 19 years old, and it was man on man, a life changing experience for me. It was definitely a life changing experience. I had to know, had to react to his cuts and stuff. It was a lot, and so I knew that from right there that I had to get better at my man. And so as tournaments went on, I started getting better at my man coverage. Started learning like when most of the times when the back gets this big loop, it's going to be a wheel route. So just sit over top and just wait for him. So I started learning how like people they run it differently, but it's really the same thing. So that's what I just started picking out from people's offenses and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And my last one, man, what's just your favorite thing about playing the linebacker position? We already talked about you playing multiple positions and being prepared and having that versatility, but what do you enjoy most about the position?
I like hitting. I like hitting people. Like I like hitting. So I usually like chase downs. So like they don't see me coming. They think they finna take it to the crib. They gone and then just boom out of nowhere. I just pop out. I think I had 2 this year. Just chase down, boom. And it's not even, some of them are long distance. Like I think 2 of them are long distance, but some of them are like short. It's like they think they broke the plane. They finna start getting out of there. And then boom, I just come in and clean them. And it's like, that's like my favorite thing to do. Just clean people, just hit people.
Pretty sweet. I'm going to throw it back to you, Bacon.
Yeah, man, brother. That's some power cleans coming into play, but definitely want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to interview you, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Wishing well. Oh, go ahead, Drum. What's up?
No, I wanted to end off on some fun notes. You know, I like to ask some fun questions. A little bit outside of football, a little bit inside of football, but first and foremost, pun intended. I wanted to know what's the athlete that you aspires to be, or like you like to look at, NFL, college, whatever.
So it doesn't really match my position, but I love Micah Parsons. Like I put my number, I got him as my number. Yeah. I just like because he's versatile too. So you could put him I like it because his rookie season, they had him more at the linebacker position, and so he was playing both. Later in the season, he started going to DN, but I just like how like he would like walk down and stuff like that. Some stuff I could do. So I was like, I really like taking his game after him, and I also like Fred Warner more for pass coverages. Yeah. So
I just you just named 2 guys that hurt my feelings as an Eagles fan and how we're going right now. But those 2 are 2 incredible linebackers. I wanted to get a little bit into like your hobbies, man. You talked about you being you like wrestling, or you do wrestling, and I know wrestling that you're talking about in high school is different from the WWE. But if you do watch WWE, is there a guy that you kind of watch that you like to look at?
Not really. It's not like it's so different. That's because that's the mindset I came in with. I was like, it's probably like some WWE type stuff. People gonna be flipping off the rings, people gonna just be flipping and stuff. But when I got in, it's just straight dogs. Like they're like you wouldn't like when you walk in, you would be like, this guy's skinny, he's not really good, he's not really gonna do nothing. There's some dogs. The skinnier ones are really the dogs for real. They like they get after it. And so I walked in, I was like, what is this? And now that I know, it's like, I just started like looking at like wrestlers and stuff. I don't know any other names, but I know like the big schools like Penn State and Iowa, they usually have the better wrestlers. So I might watch a little bit of film. I might watch like some of my people, my weight class wrestle. And so, yeah, I usually just watch that stuff.
Okay. Now, you talked about being a musician, playing, the piano. Who's your favorite musician?
Piano?
Any music singer, rapper, whoever you want to name drop.
Favorite? Oh man. This one's good. Jackson's okay. You know Jackson White, Bacon?
Jackson White. Who is he from, bro?
He's our D lineman.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about musician. Yeah.
You know, so his favorite rapper is Rod Wave. I like Rod Wave. My mom doesn't know who Rod Wave is, but I like Rod Wave.
Come on, mom.
He just like it's like soothing sometimes. It's like it'll just get you right. It depends. They say that his songs are like just sad and just, but I think if you look at it the right way, it's just cool.
Yeah. And it ain't even November.
Now, I want to my last few questions real quick because it's gonna be team oriented. You got some of your teammates in here and listen to this, so obviously I want to ask these questions. Who is the goofiest on your team?
Goofiest on my team, probably Fat. He's probably the goofiest on the team. He's
big facts.
Definitely. Now, who's the hothead on the team?
The hothead. Oh
yeah.
Javion Henson. He's a hothead in the right way because he'll get after you. Like he really get after you. He's our best O-liner. I think he made. He was a region. I think he might have been first region in our region. I think he might have been. So he's a real dog too, Javion. Yeah.
Definitely. And last one, who has the weirdest pregame tradition?
Oh man, weirdest pregame tradition. I know one they used to get bad at Jameer Scandrick. He's a senior. He was a senior this year, but he used to. I'm saying like everybody's like be quiet. He'd just be in the back just like singing he just be screaming like oh man, everybody just screaming at him just shut up, and he's just back there screaming just getting right to the wow. Yeah, he's just acting wild. I was like, that's cool.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. I'll close that, man. Brother, appreciate you for tuning in with us, man. Much love. Keep doing your thing, man. God got something special in store for you, so stay focused on you, lock in on yourself, brother. And peace and love from the first and foremost family, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Much love,
brother. Good work, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So there goes Josiah Smith. Great guest. That was all Bacon Network right there. Off on Bacon. You can check him right there, man. So good job, man. Our brother is working, man. I feel like I got the first couple. And got some good guests on today, man. So before we bring on the next one, we'll talk just a little bit about what we've seen from the All-Star games and then try to bring our next guest on. But good job, Bacon, man. That was a great guest. Seemed like a real smart, humble kid.
For sure.
Really just no BS, man. Straight business, man. So shout out to Bacon, man, on getting that great guest.
That's how we do it out here in Noonan, dog.
I'm already knowing. So Jerome, man, let's go ahead and start, man. Me and you was both there, man. So we got to give our takeaways. I know Bacon was at Rise of Seniors game, so we're gonna talk about that. But I'm starting with you, Jerome. What was your biggest takeaway from the Georgia Elite Classic? I want to say this real quick before you go. I've been to a couple little camps and All-Star game. I can't speak on MC Rise of Seniors. I feel like they had some marquee talent too. But from the ones I've been to, I feel like Elite Classic it's just a premier event. Like you go look at some of the other All-Star games, I just feel like it's one of those premier events, got some of the best talent in the state, culminated together, and you get a real good scoop on seeing it before it kind of blossoms into what it's going to be. So I just want to shout it out. That was one of my biggest takeaways. I think it's one of the premier events in the state. Obviously, you got other great stuff, but I think it's one of those. But what you think? What you thinking right now, Jerome?
Yeah, I think anything with the Georgia Elite Classic do a lot of great stuff. You know, I went to it last year. I went to their 7-on-7 last year as well. Do some great stuff, man. So y'all doing your thing for sure. The thing that stood out to me, and I know that's gonna be the hot topic of anything, but that sophomore game, the last game of the day, man, that game was good. I mean, we were getting blowouts, we were getting low scoring games, defensive games the entire day. We got to them sophomores, and it's funny because we was all talking about it before the game started, and it was the best game. It didn't disappoint. You know, a very close game. I think it was 30-31, I believe the final score was.
High scoring.
Very high scoring. Very entertaining. You know, a lot of talent out there. You had Andrew Beard out there. You had a couple of guys out there. I can't think about them on top of my head right now. But I mean, it was a very exciting game. That game was good. I didn't get to see the seniors or the eighth graders and the freshmen, but I did see the last two. Yeah, the
Seventh
freshman.
grade. No, you seen freshmen. Yeah, freshman was the last one. It was the seventh graders.
Yeah. I got there a little late that day, but yeah, man, it was a great event. Just like every year, man. Y'all know how to pull out that talent over there. So I thought it was an incredible game for sure.
Yeah, 100%, man. My biggest takeaway, man, I think Prince Ave, man, they did. You talk about the team that's just reloaded. I mean, they've done that, man. They got some dudes on the offensive line that they bringing in and bringing back. I mean, I think they're gonna be really special, man. Gabe Prince, they got some dudes, man, and that quarterback, bro, Ben Mustard, man. I think he's gonna be a national prospect. 2027 class coming up. Bacon will be a sophomore. I mean, you can go back and look at the YouTube page. I think you were on it. Bacon, you shared a couple clips, I believe. But man, just the plays he was making, man, was just off the charts, man. I mean, just a playmaker, good throw off the run, got, you know, multiple eyes on him. I think Chad Simmons commented on him. Jeremy did as well. And as I was telling Jeremy, man, you can ask Jerome. I was telling him, I said, man, this is the game like you want to be at, that sophomore freshman. I said, man, it's brewing with talent all over. And then now, you know, usually have kind of the shorter, kind of smaller receivers. They got a dude in CJ Dockery. Man, the dude's a stud, 6'2", good size, long, athletic. Had 3 touchdowns, helped Aaron Follow break that big record. Trevor Lawrence's record. I think they're special as well. It's just, man, if any game you could have been at Bacon, that sophomore freshman was off the chain, man. I mean, just talent all over. Grant Hovland, you had Teddy Gerard, you had DJ Rump, you had Christian Pancake Hunter. Max Brown had the key stop late, making a big hit on the play. Them 2 receivers that people sleeping on out there at Cambridge, man. Craig Dandridge and then Hudson Cochera, like both of them can ball, man. Now it's going to be how good is the quarterback going to be for their program next season? Can he get them the ball? Because those dudes made big time catches on the final drive to even make this, you know, such an exciting finish. But yeah, man, it's just talent all over, man. I mean, it's just really special. I'm trying to think what else stood out to me. 7th and 8th grade, man. I mean, Grayson, once again, like, you know, you go look at them. They young boys. Like they gonna be good again. Like Bryson Hurst looked good. Cameron Middleton, who's right now at River Ridge, it might be a little something there. I'm not gonna report it this yet. I did hear some rumblings that he might be going to another school. I'm gonna wait to report on that. I think I know the school, but I'm gonna wait, hold out on that one. But Grayson got some dogs. Milton, once again, the dude Keelan Wansley, he caught the game-winning catch late in the game. Y'all seen that on my Twitter. I think y'all both liked and retweeted it. That kid's special. I mean, just the pipeline that these teams have, the Graysons, the Miltons, the Prince Avenue Christians. Cartersville got some dudes, man. Caden Kent, he was special. I mean, it's just all over. Athens, Davenport. I could just keep going on and on. I mean, it was a special event. Really enjoyed it. Rusty does a great job of getting his talent to come in and putting them on the radar early, man. And if I had to tell any kid, hey, what should I do? I'm in 7th grade. I'm in 8th grade. I'm 9th grade. If you can get an invite to the Elite Classic, I think that is a premier event to showcase your talent, put it on the big stage, and get recruited early and start creating some buzz about yourself. That's the premier event to me. I think 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th if you want to. Like if you want to create a little bit of buzz going into your senior season. But I think those especially helps out a lot.
Thanks. And how you do that for the kids that's watching. I know we had a couple kids down my way from Northgate, Kane. Can't remember the old lineman's name right now. Forgive me, brother. Forgive me. But like Rusty said, I think he said it while you was in the booth or when Matt Stewart came in. Kid just put his highlights out there every week. Tagged Rusty. Of course, you got to have good film, but just being relentless and believing in yourself and tagging the big influencers or just tagging people like Rusty, it goes a long way, man. You may not think they see it, but that 1-2 weeks in a row, they're going to see like, oh, man, this – and then you keep seeing your name. So just believe in yourself, keep shining yourself out, man. It'll happen for you.
I want to bring up one more quick point before we go to your game, Bacon. Great point by you, what you just made. I want to kind of expound on that a little bit too. Kids, man, look, y'all got to stop tagging people that don't like or retweet your stuff too. You know, and I'm not saying that Rusty's going to do it. Rusty's going to visit your stuff. That's when you definitely want to tag. Chad Simmons when you want to tag. But I'm just saying, like, some of these guys not even liking retweeting y'all stuff. Like, if you do inside the hashes, He's gonna like retweet your stuff, give you exposure over close to 8,000 followers. I think you got on Twitter. Bacon Network. How much you got?
Over 8,000.
Over 8,000. I was trying to
8.2.
8.2. I try to have it right. Bacon's gonna do it. Bacon's there, 1,500 followers.
Yeah.
Tag him. He gonna like and retweet all day. Y'all throw me on there. You can ask these two. I like and retweet all day. So my big thing is this: tag people, man. That's gonna look at your stuff and be able to get it out there so more eyes can see it. Because that's really what it is, man. Get more eyes to it, the better it is. Sometimes you guys tag people and they're not even looking at it. You only get a little bit. You know what I'm saying, from what you really should get. So I wanted to point that out there as well. I think that's another crucial.
It's crazy you say that because we just got like 5 or 6 not head coaches, but coaches in college football that's following us, which is like, oh, okay. So hey man, they use good pipelines to find a recruit. So make sure you tagging the right people and doing that. Before Bacon go on, we want to point out a couple of names. Now that I got the roster up right now. But Ben Messer from Prince Ave, I know you mentioned something, but he was playing outstanding out there. A lot of unscripted plays, but sometimes you need that as a quarterback. Somebody can, when a play breaks down, he made that happen. And there was a play where we were all looking at him like, he got hit hard, and man just popped up like, yeah, let's celebrate with his team. So I thought that was hilarious. He did that. You got Max Brown, who's Sammy Brown's little brother, looking like that bloodline is just insane right now. He played very well as well. I already mentioned Andrew Beard. They got him actually listed as a linebacker. He played running back the entire time, and he was a boss. He played last year in the Georgia Elite Classic, and we interviewed him there. He had a lot of eyes on him then. Came back into this one. He was like, I'm getting that offensive player, the offensive MVP. And he went out and got there. So shout out to him. DJ Rump had a really good game. A guy that I'm really at Milton.
Yes. Give us a little insight. Give us a little insight, Jerome. I got it really for myself, but give us a little insight on DJ Rump.
I got you. All right, I'll stay with that because he was at yours too, right?
Nah, he wasn't at mine, but I remember I seen him somewhere last year or something. But I like what I saw.
And I have to name drop my boy Chad Fairchild. He had a really solid game out there. I had to get him because he's one of those kids that's always tagging us in a lot of his stuff. So that's how I really got to know his name and watching what he does. He always tagging us and everything. So go ahead, Bacon. I don't want to take off the time, man.
You good, man. So if you don't know by now, if you're just not tuning in, I went to the MCA of GA Rising Seniors. That is Minority Coaches of America of Georgia Rising Seniors Classic Showcase. I went to practice and I went to the media day. Some of the standouts before I get there, man, like Naj said a couple minutes ago, Georgia Elite Classic is probably, the flagship showcase of Georgia. When it comes to showcasing younger talent, there are a couple more that maybe trickle under it, but honestly, man, I really enjoyed and have no problem with going to this showcase again, man. It really showcases mainly a lot of APS kids who don't get a lot of coverage, that are very talented, have good GPAs, all that good stuff. And it also showcases like a kid, like I just mentioned, Juju went from Greene County, not too far from the South Carolina line, East Georgia. So definitely would go to it and recommend it. The live game footage will be out. I talked to Coach Tinker. He said next week, but I'll get into that because that's what people want to hear. Juju win, obviously. Bo Walker was there. Mason Noise was a player of the game Saturday, man. Sensational. I can't wait to the film come out so I can see it. Marcus Andrews, a name that needs to be known, 2025 senior, first team, O lineman, second team D lineman, was really the only one at a team dedication, which was his teammate that really stuck with him in practice. So I have to put his name out there. Marcus Andrews of Stevenson High School, baller. Another high touted recruit, Jonte Gilbert, was out there. He made some noise. Day 2 practice, I was not there, but Jonte is he's easy top 15 in class, top 15 Georgia class 2025 next year, and Georgia is loaded. We will talk about that a little later. Jalen Hollywood Bell, another big name. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I said that's my guy. That's my guy.
Oh yeah. I know you up there in Gracie. You know what I'm saying? You might. I'm surprised you got no G-shirts in the background. Zion Lawson out of Manuel Jackson, another 2025 defensive end, kind of a hybrid guy, outside linebackers, special. Got a great get off, very strong, very physical at the point of attack. So is CJ Favors? No. Let me shout my boy out first. Caleb Akers out of Villa Rica, man. I looked at his film, I didn't see too much, but I put a question mark by his name because I knew I didn't see enough. But there's a reason why they had him on the list, and was a standout day one. Had a lot of pass breakups, really athletic. His coaches came on Twitter and like, yeah, man, this kid's really got it, man. Super athletic, really humble, coachable, and really the thing that stood out to me from when I interviewed him, he holds himself to a higher standard. So look out for that name next year, Caleb Akers at Villa Rica High School. Plug in somebody else, Andrew Leslie, Cedar Grove, man, special. He had the bedazzled cleats on, really showing that East Atlanta flavor. That was special to see, man. Oh man, he's tough, but he's a character for sure, man. I love that boy, man. Let's see who else. There's a few more, man. But like I said, the film will be out. But all in all, man, great event. We'll definitely cover it again. Shout out to Coach Tinker, Coach Coach Sylvie Savelli. Forgive me if I'm saying the brother's name wrong, but yes, sir, man. Shout out to Sasa. Oh, can't forget, man. This is a funny story from talking to Coach Boone, man. Coach Boone and Coach White of Douglas County, they were roommates. And I asked Coach Boo, I said, Coach, who's snoring the loudest? He's man, I asked Coach White, man. So that cracked me up, man. But both great men. Not the first time they coached that event. So yeah, man, great event, man. So we can bring our big time guest on out of Alabama, and we can get that down south insight.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to get in here. So
he's not in here. All right.
He's not in here yet. But
all right, I'm gonna hit him.
I'm gonna keep going real quick, man. I want to get some love. I forgot about Christian Harris from Harrison, man, at Georgia Elite Classic. Just real quick. Want to give him some love, man. He really impressed. Chad Simmons tweeted about him twice. Quote tweeted one of his tweets as well. He had 4 sacks this season. I expect for him to have a big junior season. I expect his stock to start to rise. He ended up winning Defensive Player of the Game in the Georgia Elite Classic. So shout out to Christian Harris if you're watching from Harrison. Had a phenomenal time at Georgia Elite Classic. He was big time. The other one I tweeted about him, I think that was Saturday, Jamari Harold from Norcross. We got to see him up close and personal. Jerome at the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. Absolutely balled out, man. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, showed the physical power. Now he looks real fit, man. Not that he didn't before, but just like he's toning into his body, man. Big physical receiver. Just makes contested catches look easy, man. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers going into the 2025 class, especially going into next year. I just think he does a lot of things well, man. He's going to be real special. I think people are going to start to heat up on him, but only has an offer from Toledo. But want to give him some exposure, man. I think he's really good. And can't wait to see what Norcross looks like. They ended up winning the region title this year. Obviously, he was one of the big reasons, him, Antonio Mulder, A.J. Watkins. But Dylan Muhammad will be the starter. He was also at Elite Classic. Can't wait to see what Jamari looks like when it comes to season form. I know he's going to be in some 7-on-7s. But, man, when you talk about special, was at the Southern Exposure Camp. Kid was lighting them up, man. 2 touchdowns and that highlight one-handed catch that I posted on the Instagram that is linked right down there below. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, right down there below. Boom, right there. Yeah. You guys can check that out, man. Really underrated, man. But that's all I got for now until we get the guest on. But I just wanted to shout them 2 guys out.
Did you mention Farmer? Kamari Farmer? Did you mention him?
I did not. That's all you. He looked good too.
Kamari Farmer, bro. We was worried about the I forgot his name. The running back from Carrollton that got injured.
Bryce Hicks.
Yep.
Yes, Bryce Hicks. And we were worried about him, like, man, what are they gonna do in the running game? But Kamari Farmer and his counterpart, they did a real good job filling in. He played at he was on a losing team with the the blue team on the sophomores, but he was a bright spot on that offense, man. He was busting out really big games here and there, and he looked very fluent. And when he got in space, man, that speed showed, man. That kid is fast. So I'm excited to see the future of Carlson, man. Still got Juju still gonna be there for a couple of years. They got him as a sophomore, man. Carlson, we talking about reloading team. Carlson looked like one of his teams, man.
Facts. So it seems like the California talk is quieted down a little bit. So maybe I know it's still early, but haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard much lately either. So hey, he might be staying. We'll see though. We'll definitely see. And then I wanted to shout out my guy Trey Harris going. He's right now committed to Georgia. He's looking real good out there. He had a potential interception that he dropped, but it was such a great play. And I asked him about it. He was like, "Man, I got to catch those." It was a little rainy, cold day, so I'll give him an excuse for now. But he looked like an athlete. He was always around the ball. He didn't always make the play, but like he was always around the ball. And that interception that he could have had was probably going to be the play for him. Can't hang on to it. It's all right, but he's another guy that during that whole thing, I thought he played very well as well.
We got a comment from Sharonda Smith. The MCA's Rising Senior event was, I'm not sure what that is, but we're gonna say was full of phenomenal athletes in terms of the real talk, the sessions, and the college like experience.
Oh, it was
beneficial. Sorry, man. Beneficial. Without a doubt, man. High class, top level. Had the boys in the hotel, two to a room, man. A lot of boys came in, man. It's gonna be 3 to 4 to a room. Nah, Coach Tink, they got you. 2 to the room. Oh, you good? You good, baby. You good. Yeah, but top flight event, man. Had events. Had the practice facilities in Midtown at the stadium, Lakewood. The kids loved it. It was a great event, man. I want some Javon Favors, man. If you don't know the name, Javon Favors, man, really under-scouted linebacker, safety hybrid. Heard from his trainer, as could be what's holding him back is him playing linebacker. I feel like he can play both, quick, dynamic linebacker. But while we buy a little bit more time from our guest, man, we're gonna give him a little bit more time. I called him, I texted him, but we'll give him a little bit more time. How was y'all New Year's? Did y'all get it Lady Titty, or y'all was just chilling inside indoors?
Okay. I had a mix New Year's. Obviously, I stayed home. I was chilling.
You said you was mixing. What you was mixing?
Yo, you just funny. Nah, I was chilling. I had a a lot of work. I just moved in as well, so been between the two. Moving is hard, bro. Like moving is just crazy.
You did it by yourself?
Yep. There, I came by myself.
Come on, man. We ain't nothing but a phone call.
I'm almost there. I'm like 95% there now. Like in the future, you're gonna see like the background's gonna be all different and stuff. Like I'm still working out the kinks, but I got myself a nice little desk right here, dual monitor right here. Chilling out. So it's coming along. It's coming along. But yeah, I just relaxed, watched a lot of football. Sunday was horrible for me watching the Eagles, and I got a little pick me up with the Michigan the day after. So it was a cool day. It was chill. How was you guys there?
I'm passing the Naj first.
I ain't do nothing much, man. I went to like a little small get together. One of my close friends. We just chilled, man. Played some card games, a couple little like New Year's Eve games, and just kicked it, man.
Would you play a little spades? You get on the spades table, a little
time? Yeah, we play a little spades. We play some 31. I don't know if you heard of 31. 31 is cool. You throw $1 in. If you get you got these cards, you got these face cards. So King is a 10. Everything face value is 10. King, Queen, Jack. Ace is a 1 or 11. You got it. If you get 31, then you win the pot. You know what I'm saying? But then if you get 22 first, so really if you get 22 first, you're going to get the pot.
Yeah, like gambling.
And if nobody has 22 to start the game, then it goes to 31.
Smooth. Man, I didn't do too much, man.
You making it sound like you did some wild stuff.
I didn't do nothing wild, bro.
Party and
I didn't do nothing wild, bro.
Over and...
Hey, almost. Nice though, but Nah,
I'm gonna sip my tea on that one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put that on the airwaves.
we're not gonna put that on the airways.
Yeah, we're gonna put it on the airwaves.
But nah, I worked on New Year's night, man. Look, long sip. But I worked on New Year's night. I got off at 7. I had a little move. I was like, nah, man, I had to come get the interviews out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to let the kids down. You know what I'm saying? Get the kids content out. And then I said, it was by the time I got really done, it was like 10:30, 11. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be rushing. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell you this, because like y'all, as y'all know, I'm fairly new to Georgia, and I was sitting in my room and heard, and I'm like, whoa, like start getting
it was
me
in Jersey.
I'm not. Where I'm from, you hear that? That's not Jersey. We don't. They actually just passed the law as I came down here, but in Jersey, we wasn't allowed to have firecrackers and all that. So when I heard that, I got a little nervous, like, and it like literally, like, I had my lights off in my room, and my room was just flashing lights. That's how it was literally.
Wow, yeah.
My window, like literally right outside my window. So it was super loud, and my house just flashing lights. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm awake, because like I wouldn't have been able to.
Oh boy, if you'd have been asleep, it'd have been.
I would have been. Woo! I had to go out.
Jerome, one of the neighbors, you called the police. I'm just playing with you. But
yeah, I was not ready for it. I was like, I forgot how it is in Georgia. I have, I could buy firecrackers in Walmart. Like, I could buy liquor in Walmart. We don't do that in Jersey, so.
Okay, that's tough. Nah. You see him, Jerome?
I don't.
Well, if he, I sent him a message. He just seen it just now, 2 minutes ago, actually. So we could, we could go ahead and move on. If the brother tap in, he tap in. If not, then we're missing out on the treat. Well, our fans are missing out on the treat because they're gonna get this treat. You know what I mean?
I'm dead. But all right, Roman. I'll just throw in real quick. I think we got a couple more football topics before we wrap. Just any recruiting news, updates that y'all been hearing, any buzz and heading out of the recruiting world. Obviously, we got the All-American game that's going to be tomorrow. A lot of kids showing out all over Bama. Here from Georgia, KJ Bolden, Cam Coleman, Jalen Crawford. But just recruiting news updates, man. I throw it to you guys. I know you guys are in the recruiting space too, since football slowed down. We'll obviously talk about that more. But what's the latest sights and sounds from you guys?
Man, we also got to throw Quay Birdsong in that list for the Under Armour camp. Man, he's been down there. Haven't seen his name in the big media on any videos, but nonetheless, the brother from Troup County is down there representing the UCF Knights. And LeBron Gatlin's been making some noise with his 2024 quarterback Dante Reno. They're putting on the show down there in Orlando, I believe. And I'll pass it to you, Trump. I got to get my other recruiting news together. I think I got some.
Yeah. There's a lot of high school showcases right now going on. We have the All-American game in Texas going on. They're doing their practice right now. I think that's very exciting. A couple of our guys inside the Hatches guys are over there as well. And then the one in Miami, which was KJ Bolden is in the All-American one. The one I'm talking about for Miami, I forgot what's the name of that one. Is that Under Armour? Is that the Armour one?
I know they.
Under Armour next camp. So they're having their practices. I heard that Mike Matthews looking crazy out there. Georgia commit Ellis Robinson, man, he's balling down there. I've seen the highlights with him having a one-handed interception. So I'm like, that's my boy. So I talked about earlier, my close connections for the ING guys, IG Academy guys. He's one of them. Ellis over there, UGA commit. So if you guys like UGA down here in Georgia, that's a guy that you guys should definitely have an eye on. He might have that Caleb Downs effect where he's going to come in as a freshman. He might start as a freshman. Speaking of that, Georgia just had a cornerback going in the transfer portal just now. I just passed the name Julian Humphrey. He's in the transfer portal, so Georgia might need that help at the cornerback position anyway, because two of their cornerbacks are going to the Senior Bowl this year, which I'm going to in a few weeks. So so Georgia's gonna have to reload, and Ellis might be a guy that you guys might want to keep an eye on to keep that name out there, because it's seeming like he's going to be a quick starter, just like a Caleb Downs, who we just mentioned earlier. So shout out to all the Georgia guys that are down there, man. All the ING Academy guys, got a couple of them. My guy Jared Gibson, who's going to Texas, a team that's loaded with running backs right now. Watched their game yesterday, obviously losing in the championship game. But him going to Texas, man, is going to make that running back room a lot deeper. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, for me, real quick, got to give a shout out. Two big guys from Raven Gap, Marshall Pritchett. He just announced his top 10. I think it was a couple of days ago. Teams that were on there. Georgia Tech was obviously one of the teams on there. He's a major time 2025 target for a lot of programs at the tight end position. Had 674 yards receiving this year, 46 catches, and then 6 touchdowns. So he just announced it. And the other big one got to be James Tank Carrollton. He would think it was as high as number 2 and number 3 in this class coming up. He was at Raven Gap as well. He just announced a couple of hours ago that he is transferring schools, will be at Bishop Gorman now in Las Vegas. So that's, I think, a major time news as well. He was at Raven Gap for 2 years, but he will be playing the rest of his football career over there out west at Bishop Gorman. So that's the big news that I've seen so far today.
That's big news.
Yep.
And that's going to be the biggest news of the recruiting segment.
Yep. That's all we got for there. I think we got one more football topic to wrap. I know Jerome was discussing a potential top 25 players in the state. So I don't know if we want to discuss that separately. We'll talk a little bit about it on the show.
We can tap into it since our just income. We can tap into it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what are y'all thinking, man? I guess just throw some names out. Obviously, we're not going to construct the full top 25. We'll probably end up revealing it next show, but we can just discuss it a little bit. Who are some guys y'all want to throw in that mix, man?
I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a banger. A lot of people have. Well, this may be a surprise to some, but I got Zayden Walker. This is in the state. Yeah, Zayden Walker. I got Zayden Walker number 1. I got Elijah Griffin close number 2, and Ellis Williams at 3. And here's why I put Zayden Walker over Elijah Griffin at number 1. I just feel like Zayden Walker's a little more versatile. I'm not saying he's a Micah Parsons, but similar to the effect, especially on the high school level. College, we'll have to see. He's strong. He come off the edge, bring pressure. Obviously, he's a real good coverage linebacker, game wrecker. So, and when you kind of double, as we've seen in the state championship, I mean, we know he made plays, but it got a couple bodies, multiple bodies on Elijah, kind of diluted his stain on the game, so to speak, at the bends. So that's why I'm gonna take Zayden Walker over Elijah Griffin. Not taking nothing from him. Obviously, I put him at number 2, and Ellis Williams, dynamic tight end, man, big body. Real big time tight end. I think 6'4", 220. It's crazy.
I think he's about 6'6", 6'7".
6'6". Yeah, you're right. Power forward. That's right. He's a power forward. 6'7". His brother can play basketball as well too.
He also play defense side of the ball too, brother.
Yeah. I know he's a defense end, but they got him on a 247 as a tight end. But he does rush the passer on the outside as a defensive end. That is right. Appreciate that correction. And now I ended here. Now slide to y'all. 4, 5, 6. Justice Terry, Josh Petty, and Jaden Prolati. In that order.
Okay, from Buford.
Dog, man, dog.
Appreciate the comment, Ronald McDonald as well. Texas cooked FSU, cooked 2024. Great. Appreciate you tuning in, man. As always, building a little audience over there at the YouTube. So thank you, man. We really appreciate it. And great point out by you. I need to ask you, Bacon and Jerome. Now, this top 25, right? We got kids that are already off. Like Mike Matthews gone. Colin Fox gone. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Halinsky gone. So are we doing top 25 going into this upcoming season?
Yeah.
Are we doing top 25 from this past year as well?
Don't
something to think about, because I kind of like the top 25 going into next year too, because then you got 25s coming up at 26s. But what do y'all think we should do there?
I think you got to look at the future. Sorry, Jerome.
No. I hear you. I think that we should do the top going into the next year. I think that'd be the more entertaining list, and I think we should definitely do it position by position for sure. So tap into that, because if you go position by position, I think that it will have a lot less. We can get a lot more people on it. 1, 2, we can spread out between podcasts, because we have to get content, and then 3, we can bring on a couple of these guys at certain positions, and maybe you can have them argue it out a little bit. Like, hey, like I'm in top 25. I should be higher than this guy. Why you higher?
Right.
You know what I mean? So hey, I think that'd be cool to do stuff like that too, man. But yeah, just to throw a couple of names, man. I know this name is kind of out there already, and Naj, you already mentioned his name, but TJ Riley, man, he from Milton.
Lord.
Dog, man. He's definitely gonna be in that list somewhere, I think.
Lord.
For sure. My guy over there at in Parkview, obviously, we got Matthews leaving, we got Jalen leaving. Hey, what about Zealous Hicks, man? Zealous Hicks is gonna be a big name over there. Played both wide receiver and DB. I think he's gonna have to be there. And I definitely can't forget my boy AG4, Aaron Gregory.
Oh my goodness.
I know he's gonna be on there for sure. So there's a couple of names, just a little teaser on my side as far as the wide receivers spot. But I know when we make our list, it's gonna be definitely fun to see, who we pick on there, man. It's gonna be collaborative effort. We're gonna kind of throw some names in there. That's gonna kind of break it down a little bit. We're gonna make a graphic for it, so it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Me, man, my locks, it got to be. I think he one of the best ones in the state, man. I mean, got to go Luke Nickel. I seen him preseason, man, and to do what he did with that offense, obviously he got weapons, man. But to do what he did, man, and go on that big stage and perform at the level he did, I think that's almost for me a lock to be at that position as well. And just real quick to Jerome's point, obviously great bringing up.
He's 25, man. That's crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, I forgot he's 25.
Yeah, he's 25, man. So he gonna be back next year. But Parkview, you talking about a team that's about to reload. Like, you think, okay, they lost like Matthews, Jalen Crawford. They got Zealous coming back. Obviously, dog, they got 2 dudes like nobody even talking about. Coming up in 27 class, Jalil Parham and then Kevin Caldwell. Are you talking about dogs? Like, no,
good, bro.
I mean, like, they were standouts in practice. I'm like, didn't Parkview just lose some dudes? Like, and they just reloaded again. It's just like, where did they find these guys from? So I wanted to bring it up as a side note as well, man. But just dogs, obviously. I gotta agree with you on that, the wide receiver position too, Jerome. Obviously got to be Aaron Gregory. I think he's definitely on that list. CJ Watt, obviously that's another lock for me. I'm trying to think of a safety. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Safety?
I think Jonte Gilbert should be on that list as well. He's an absolute stud. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm gonna throw it. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to you, Bacon. I feel like I'm missing somebody that was a lock for me that I'm kind of losing.
Well, you definitely. I mean, I can't think of anybody from the safeties range right now. So, but definitely Tyler Atkinson, definitely Roddy Colton.
Yes, definitely Tyler. Yep, forgot all about him.
Definitely can't forget about Julian Lewis.
Yeah.
Who else? 2026. Sorry, fellas. What's the linebacker out of Dodge County? You know what I'm talking about? Duke Johnson.
I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know if his name is Duke. I'm talking about Daryl Johnson.
Yeah, Daryl Johnson.
Yeah, he's real good. Nope, for sure. Yeah, he'll be on there. Yup, and then I forgot one, Christian Garrett from Prince Ave. That's another one.
Yeah, yep.
He got to be on there too, man.
Yep.
Absolute dog. And then
Tavion
Usmani
Wallace.
Chroma at running back. Lord, hey, he got to be on there too, man. From Lee County, yes. Usmani Chroma, like he's on that list too, man. But those are some of the obviously to me the main ones. Definitely gonna be probably locks for that list that we mentioned. Obviously some other guys. I think London Merritt is leaving. I believe he went down south. I know
Reclassified.
247 is going to update that. Yeah, I think we talked about that a couple podcasts ago. But I think he ended up leaving, going down south to Florida. But yeah, man, it's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna do this strictly for Georgia. It's gonna be just Georgia talent. But I wanted to point out a guy, 2026 guy. I just talked about the Ellis Robinson earlier from ING Academy. And, ING Academy is overloaded, and they're just the type of program they have. But this guy that's been there for a while. They've watched him since he's a freshman, playing very well. And that Zachary Ford, he's gonna step right in for Ellis over there in IG Academy, man. He's a baller. He got the range. He got that mindset already. He started off really early, getting a lot of playing time as a freshman. So he played a little bit more this year. Played a little bit more safety than corner because they're loaded at corner. He played a little safety as a sophomore guy. When he comes in as a junior, because he's a 2026 guy, he's coming in as a junior next year. He's going to be somebody that you got to look at for sure. So if you're talking nationally, and I'm talking IG earlier, his name kind of just crossed my mind. I think I should just talk about safety. His name just kind of passed my mind. He's gonna be a baller, man. So look out for him. He's got a lot of offers already too. So.
No, 100%. Great point out by you, Jerome. But that's all we got for news, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the updates, man. That's what we got so far right now going on as far as just recruiting news updates. We're going to have a section every single show to bring it up and what we're seeing, man. We're going to be at a bunch of different camps. Obviously, all of us are busy. We got outside jobs, but you're going to see Jerome. Jerome going to be at camps. He's going to report on it. Baker's going to be at camps. He's going to report on it. I'll be at camps. I'll report on it. And obviously, it's going to be a couple we're going to do together as well. So stay tuned for that, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to pass it off, man, for the three-man weave. Go pass it to my brother, Arvon. Let him go ahead and get us ready for the three-man weave. I hope Jerome can finally tune in and tap in, man. Come on, man. It's been about 2 months, man.
Hey, I tapped in a little bit, but it's y'all got too many teams in Georgia, man. I think I got to start one spot. I might just start with Grayson because I've already got ties to Grayson already.
Hey, they got dogs. Just start with Grayson.
That's what I heard. So maybe
if you want each show, just talk about what's going on with Grayson because I think they're going to be winners in 7-8. Start with Grayson because they got absolute dogs.
I got you.
All right. Yeah. So next show, I'm gonna say Jerome, what's going on with Grayson?
Pressure.
All right.
I got it.
Insider Jerome.
Driving pressure, baby. I'm driving pressure.
Yeah. Insider Jerome with the scoop on the Grayson hoops. Yeah.
Oh, we got our guest. On here, man.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, Baker, you want to introduce him quick and I'll throw more?
Yes, sir. As soon as I see the brother's smiling face. Can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Naked is a clown, bro.
Talk to us, brother. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. First and foremost, man, I just want to let you know this is our good brother, Unlock Your Game. I'll let him introduce himself formally. He's got a great beat going on down there in Alabama, but just go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, man. So, of course, my real name is CJ Gilbert. So that's what the people call me when they see me out and about and things like that. Unlock Your Game is more of the alias, I guess you could say, something that I created over a course of, going on 8 years now. Just really how it started, I guess you could say. Basically, man, it started with my little brother, man. It kind of was like just kind of giving him spotlight, giving him kind of some type of, exposure from his high school days and stuff like that. Now he's going on to play college ball and things like that at the NAIA level. So it kind of started there. Then after that, it kind of built on from that moment to something a little bit bigger where we started doing things for, other athletes. And even now, as we progress to, working with teams, and, we work with some of the best athletes across not just Alabama, but the state of, any southeastern state, from Texas to all the way Midwest to Oklahoma, from all up the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, and things like that. So we work with some pretty good names, and we're just continuing to grow and advance this thing, man.
Nah, that's dope, man. I did not know you was your reach was that far, brother. But kudos to you, man. But obviously the big news is the Hoover hire. Let me get coach's name, unless you want to beat me to the punch.
Yeah, Coach Glimmer, former Clay Chalkville coach.
Mm-hmm. So just kind of let us know what you think about that, and what can we expect, man.
Yeah, so I think the main thing, man, everybody's asking is Hoover back. So I mean, as you know, they've had multiple coaches over the time period of when Coach Niblett had left, over I think his 14 or 15 years that he's been there. Now he's in Georgia. He's coaching for Gainesville, the Red Elephants down there. So they're doing amazing things. They actually got a scheduled matchup with Moody, which is fixing to be a 5A powerhouse here in maybe a next couple of years. So they got that going on. But back to Coach Drew Glimmer and Clay Chalkville, man. I think on the shorthand, I don't think Hoover yet is back, but they're gonna be right in the thick of things. Last year they had kind of a down year. Coach Wade Waldrop, now he's the official head coach for Orange Beach. They are the smaller program, 4A program, that kind of like, they haven't had much success. They're early in their days. 2020, I think, is their first year. But Glimmer is going to bring some type of attitude that Hoover desperately needs, man. And I know that this past year they kind of cut it close with schools with, like, of course, Thompson U being those programs that is the powerhouse now in Alabama. Vestavia Hills, they cut it close with them as well earlier in the season. And then Oak Mountain. I mean, Oak Mountain has had a couple of teams here from 2020 to 2023. They've had a couple teams that have gave Hoover a little bit of work. But as far as for Hoover, they have some good guys coming back. Noah Sonbeck, I don't know if you guys had seen him in the Hoover's 7v7, but he did do pretty good. Jonah Winston, the younger brother of Jameis Winston, he's probably going to be presumably the next quarterback, probably this starting quarterback coming back. But they got some talent, man. And I just think that ultimately that they're still going to have to get past that Thompson U. But at the same time, I think Hoover and Coach Glimmer, for a matter of fact, is going to give them guys a run for their money now.
Thanks. So obviously Hoover, it's close to getting over the hump, getting some big wins for their program. Why do you think that they decide to go with Coach Glimmer?
I think the proof is in the pudding. Two times in the last 4 years, I believe they've been 6A champions. Maybe 2 times in the last 3 years. I know that they won this past year against a tough Saraland group that everybody had favorites. I know that I was maybe probably the only one in the state of Alabama. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just feel like I was maybe the only one in the state that probably thought that Clay Chalkville would have a redemption year after falling in the second round to Parker, which is going to be another great 6A program. But a few years ago, they beat a Hueytown team that was one of the highest scoring teams in 6A, probably in all of the state. And so I think Coach Glimmer's track record is really, really good to take on the task of Hoover. Like I said, when you think of coaches that come from Hoover, you automatically assume Coach Niblett, which has been to the championship so many times before and dominating in Alabama State football. Then if you want to go back even further than that, Coach Roche Prost, which is now the Pell City head coach. So
my man,
when you go back to those particular names, man, you have to have someone that has a proven track record and a proven capability of getting the best and maximizing his talent. And I think that's what Coach Glimmer and Clay Chalkville has done over the last couple of years.
For sure, brother. Going back to the Alabama football, man, you know what I'm saying, you've been down there for a while now, got a solid beat. What, in your opinion, why do you feel like it's just now taking so late for Alabama schools to just start getting kind of media, a little media hub coverage down there?
Man, that's a really good question, man. And I really do think that once again, I know that I've seen you two guys before, but what's my brother name up top above me in the Michigan box right there?
Jerome, inside the hashes.
Yeah, inside the hashes right there. This is my first time meeting him, so I got a chance to talk to you two guys, but I just don't want to come off as just me acting like I'm arrogant or something like that.
Brother.
But, really for real, man, it's been so long, and like I said, when I first started 8 years ago, it wasn't like this. So I mean, looking what you guys have done and what neighboring states have done, especially getting kind of like that outside source of Texas and Louisiana and Florida, seeing what those guys do for their state and pulling it and bringing it back into Alabama. We've been behind so many times on not just sports, but different trends, different hip hop music and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we've been behind as far as just in general, as far as catching up on trends. And just to kind of get back to your question, man, I just think it took so long to get to this point and where we're at in Alabama, just off the sheer fact because we have so many guys that are quote unquote old heads in our main media coverages. And it still haven't broke loose all the way yet. But I feel like we have more guys like myself, a couple more other guys that I've met along the way that are kind of building those bridges on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, everything that's breaking kind of those molds and getting to those kids on a first name basis through social media and not wait until they get, on front of the newspaper cover. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, but I'm sure all three of us, I'm not just speaking for myself, want to give you a flowers for definitely, if not kicking the door down yet, but for starting to loosen up the bolts around the door hinges. Just kind of give us a little insight into the 2025 class, man. Who's somebody that at the top of the list that we should definitely keep our eye on? Who's somebody who's a little bit behind closed doors right now? That's not really in the headlines of the newspaper articles. Who's somebody we should keep our eyes on and ears are open for?
Man, that's a really good question. I'll give you just one star, like off the top that everybody should know nationally. Naeem Alford, class 2025 guy out of Parker, had a pick six against Jalen Mbakwe in the semifinal round when they played him at their place. Of course, if he's not a 5-star already, he's probably going to pick up his 5th star here in the spring.
No, he's got it.
Yeah, I would say if he's not already got it, he should have it. He's one for sure. I like for sure. Let me think of somebody around in the north because I cover a lot of the state, but I'm predominantly in the Metro Birmingham area and North Alabama. So like your Florence, Huntsville area and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let me think real quick. Now it's this one kid, man. He was a freshman, so he'll be a sophomore. He played 1A ball. His name is. So I don't want to get his name wrong. I think it's Severius Evans. He played for Decatur Heritage Christian Academy, and I believe he rushed for almost 2,000 yards. And I feel like that's the first time that's happened in that program's history.
Wow.
And by the way, this was a freshman running back. So I'm real big on if you can ball, you can ball, regardless if it's 7, 1A, whatever ball you can ball. Let me think of some more guys for y'all that y'all might know or might not know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just 25 quarterback that I just got on maybe 2 to 3 months ago, Fort Payne High School. So if you're thinking it would be kind of like Rome, Georgia for you guys. You know what I'm saying? It'll be in that area of Alabama. But Dax Vardamore, he threw for 23, maybe 2,100 yards. I think he had about 5 or so hundred yards rushing, and I think he accumulated like maybe 33 touchdowns or so like that. So I'm very curious to see because we don't get that much. That's one thing that when I'm covering guys from the North Alabama part of the state, we don't get that much, guys that are kind of, stand out as quarterbacks. That's mainly like, your Metro or even down lower, and then compared to Georgia or Texas, we don't get those type of guys ever at all at the quarterback position. So he's one of those guys that I feel like he can probably stand out and at least get some G5, if not P5 offers come around his senior year. Dax Vardamore, he's from Fort Payne.
For sure. Right now, I don't think he's in that North Alabama area, but right now you do have a Landon Duckworth out of Jackson, Alabama, who's got a who's already committed to South Carolina. So you know what I'm saying, just kind of what's your thoughts on his game? He's got a big arm right now. A lot of people want to see him be more pinpoint with his passes, but just what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Landon, I haven't got a chance to meet Landon Duckworth. I've got a chance to talk to him before. I thought I was gonna get a chance to actually meet him in person because they was my 4A state champions, man. I thought they was gonna win a 4A state title this year. They have a lot of kids coming back that's gonna be very valuable to their season. I know that he's one of them. Of course, they got a freshman running back that you guys need to on that same roster that y'all need to look at. He got a Georgia offer maybe 2-3 months ago. But that Jackson Aggies team is stacked, man. So Landon got a big arm. Landon is, all of 6'3", 6'2", whatever. Like he's definitely one of those guys that, for that junior class, he's gonna be probably, if not the best quarterback in the state, one of them. Like he's really gonna be one of the best quarterbacks in the state. And just another thing, like I said, I know that we had talked in our messages. And you was thinking that, just because 7A ball was the biggest classification, that it was the best classification. And that's not all the way true in the state of Alabama. 6A I would probably say is the deepest and the best. 7A, of course, everybody knows Thompson, everybody knows Hoover. You get the chance to know Vestavia Hills, Oak Mountain, Dothan, Mary G, Montgomery, all those schools. You get a chance to get to know all those schools, but 6A, man, is the deepest classification. If nobody else knows anything about Alabama football, 6A football is the best classification in the state of Alabama for like us. 4A football is good. It's just small ball, man. So if you get one of those special players like a Landon Duckworth, they can really set you apart from any other 4A program in the state of Alabama. I throw one of my guys in there that he just committed. He flipped from Troy. And he's going to ULM, Louisiana Monroe. So Jimmy Ogle, quarterback out of Jacksonville High School. I'm a Jacksonville alum, and he was one of those guys where he was a P5 kid through and through. His dad played at Jacksonville State as a running back. He was a running back coach there, and he was one of those guys that could just spin it off platform, spin it in the pocket. He can run everything, every bit of 6'3", too. And I think that ULM is going to get a solid kid out of that. Out of him. So, like I said, it just 4A football, man. 4A football is one of my better classifications. I like it a lot, just because that's what I played. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of odds there. And then 6A is, like I said, our best.
For sure. I can't let. Of course, there's a couple more questions we're going to ask you, but I can't let you go without asking you about last night's game. What's the talk around the town? You know what I'm saying, with Bama going outside like they did yesterday.
See, look, man. When you talk to me, I'm not a traditional just through and through Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I watch sports. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that ultimately, man, that play call at the end, everybody talking about how he could have got up in behind the guard and stuff like that. But like I said, you leave the outside backer, or what I'm saying, the overhang out there, that gap is gone. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think with knowing that knowledge, and then on top of him kind of getting a low snap, I think for a Milroe that's not really a totally bad snap, a bot snap, but it's something he could have worked with. You know what I'm saying? If it would have been a little bit better. Ultimately, man, Alabama was not Alabama this year. Uncharacteristic mistakes, stupid penalties. You know what I'm saying? Not Nick Saban like football, not Roll Tide football. So, like I said, Michigan is they're a team that is fundamentally sound. Always has been. They just haven't been kind of like better than they haven't been better than Ohio State. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been better than their counterpart that have won championships in the recent years. This year, like I said, they got a solid running game. I really do love the running game. And then McCarthy is one of those guys where he's been a gamer maybe, the last few years. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been okay. You know what I'm saying? So I just think they were just a better team at that point in time. And then, like I said, I just think they're just more disciplined. You get 6 sacks on an Alabama front, you're playing some ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's really good stuff. The other matchup was a shootout. I can't wait to see. Honestly, people talking about how it would have been a better thing to see Alabama and Texas play. Of course, it probably would have been more, media attention and more views and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But real football fans know, I feel like I want to see one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12, probably, you know what I'm saying, top 5 quarterbacks that could enter the draft, and Penix Jr. against that front 7 in Michigan. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a Penix Jr. I want to see a Penix really going to be like one of those top tier guys, not winning the Heisman and all that type of stuff, and be like a top round draft pick for real. That's what I want to see.
Facts. I see you had your hand up, Jerome. Go ahead and enlighten us.
I gotta mention this, being a Michigan fan myself. I don't want to take too much time. We're gonna be talking about this tomorrow on our RPO college podcast tomorrow. But I do want to say, when you talked about the low snap, I don't get that on Monroe. He played a phenomenal game for what he was put into. That offensive line was the reason why they lost that game. That, and even people were talking about the last play. If you look at it, that play probably would have worked if that ball wasn't that low. When you have a ball shooting at you that low, you have to adjust to that. So he had to grab it, and then he had to sprint up because it was already an RPO. So the play was messed up from the beginning with that snap. Now, when you do that, you kind of panic, and he kind of panicked. He had to run. A lot of people say, oh, he should have went to the outside. He didn't have time to because he was running with his head down like this. So, it's hard for you to see the field when your head's down like this. So I'm going to blame that on the snap. We're going to get a little bit more intensified conversation with that tomorrow on our podcast. But I just wanted to, point that out and say that. But Alabama played a hell of a game. I don't want anybody to take that away from Alabama. They played a hell of a game. It was a fun game to watch. I hope none of the Alabama fans are disappointed in that because, in the beginning of the season, nobody thought that was going to be as good or even make the playoffs this year as it was, especially once you lost to Texas. So I started getting hot at the right moment. So shout out to Alabama because I don't think any team could have got out of that little rump that was in the beginning of the season. So shout out to Nick Saban, shout out to Alabama. You had an incredible season. I don't want to take anything from you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was you take timeouts back to back. They took a timeout, then Alabama took a timeout. By the way, I'm not even an Alabama fan. I'm an Auburn fan, so I get double flack anyway, regardless. But you took maybe 2 to 3 minutes and you draw up a play that is, like you said, I guess you could say it's an RPO action, but the running back went out on motion, on kind of like a flyer motion right there, and then you get a low snap, so you can't even use the RPO action in it. And then, like you said, the hole is there, but it's not on time. So I'm just like, even if it was on time, it's still, that's 3 yards that you have to get. And
yeah, but it was a play that was working. It was working. So I can't.
That's true.
It worked one time. It did work one time when it wasn't like a big snap.
It was starting to turn us up.
Yeah,
that play was hurting us the entire game. When we was getting down to the nitty gritty, when we started getting lanes from Monroe, that's when the game started opening up for Alabama. Seriously. So.
Yeah, that little misdirection and kind of threw out the linebacker to safety and kind of gave that little lane.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. So what's some plans for you, brother? You know what I'm saying? I know football's kind of slowing down a little bit right now. Have you heard any early words on any big 7-on-7 showcases? You know what I'm saying? Just kind of let us know what you're going to be doing in the near future.
Yeah, I'll open up to a lot of other different sports around this time. I'll be doing some light basketball. I might even work some baseball in there a little bit, just off the cusp of just, business oriented things. But when we get back to football, we have some 7-on-7 circuits that I might entertain here in the near future. Never know. I know I work with a 7-on-7 team that's very local here. So we'll see if they enter into some tournaments. They'll be doing some battle. They'll shock doctor all those guys and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll get a chance to kind of compete in things like that. Main thing is it is kind of a slow period for maybe the next couple of weeks, but after this point, for me especially, I'll start putting together, like right now, I think I dropped something on my Insta story that we'll be dropping our postseason top 25 list. So what we'll do is we'll break it up into 5 sections of the whole state. So we'll do North, we'll do South, Central, East and West. So we'll break it up into top 25 of every section, not just a top 25 of the whole state or just North South or stuff like that. Because I feel like, especially the background that I have anyway, as far as like exposure with kids, I get a chance to meet a lot of good kids that may not make a Rivals or a 247 or On 3 or something like that. Might be some dogs, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it gives them an opportunity to get on a list that they deserve, and then on top of the connections that I've been able to make, just through you guys, through anybody that I've met, the guys that you might see on that list, you be like, oh, like let me look this guy up. You know what I'm saying? Let me find something out about this guy. So that's the main reason why I do it for. And like I said, I can probably, a lot of those lists, especially the Central, I probably go 100 deep, but I just cap it to 25 just to kind of keep some continuity in there. But we'll start doing that 7-on-7s, and then we'll look back up, and it'll be time for some jamborees and spring football again.
Facts. We definitely respect the Unlock Your Game brand, but I noticed you said we. And I know it's for sports, it's tough to do it as one man. So how did you kind of cultivate your team, and how did you cultivate your team? Pretty much is the question.
Yeah, good question. We're still building. It's an everyday thing. This past year was definitely a growing experience. It's still mainly I would say myself, but when we do have some guys in there that will work, will work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not one of those guys that are shy away from working. Like that's the way. It's no shortcuts to success, man. You can't just because of the followers don't equal up to dollars. You know what I'm saying? So once you get those followers, you gotta
feed them.
You got to make them turn into dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to do what's best for the brand, do what's best for everything. And just like I said, we had some amazing people this year that really did work with us, and it's going to work with us next year. And I can't wait to continue just to grow and keep growing. And like I said, just building connections outside of, just the state of Alabama, because there's so much out there that I don't think that we get a chance to see. I say we as in Alabama now, like we don't get a chance to get our kids associated with. That's why I'm trying to tie all this together. So bear with me. But that's why I like the 7-on-7 stuff. Like that's really why I like the 7-on-7 stuff. Because I feel like not only for the state of Alabama, but just in general, it gives the kids a time to compete with guys that they might not ever see again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And on top of not seeing them again, like it gives you kind of some type of confidence going into your season to be like, man, I was locking down. Like the Hoover 7-on-7, they had they had Travis Hunter out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, Travis Hunter is a generational style talent. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be one of those guys where we probably 100% of the time gonna see him on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, some of those kids that was from Alabama, like Spain Park or Hoover, or I mean, even as big as Hoover, like you're never gonna probably see a Travis Hunter again. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like Thompson and you playing like Buford and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's why now, kind of tying it back into what I was talking about earlier by Gainesville playing Moody, I'm just like, that's what we need for the state of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we need cross rivalries across the border lines. You know what I'm saying? But they can get kind of like iron sharpens iron. And I just feel like our state doesn't think that way. But you have coaches now that have been kind of, in that 7-on-7 circuit, or kind of like in that, that lane of having media exposure to them, that kind of like show them, hey, you know what I'm saying? Look what Battle got going on out here in, Southern California, or, DC, or wherever they're doing. And we're trying to bring that to, it's not a flawed process. It's more of like getting your kids exposure out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think all that stuff is good, man. And like I said, just to kind of tie all that stuff together, it's more work to be done in the state. It's just we gotta continue to push the narrative that the media exposure that is not conventional is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, last couple questions from me, and I'm gonna pass it to Naj. With that being said, what you just said, does that mean we can possibly see Thompson at the Hoover 7-on-7 this year, as well as a couple other teams?
I don't know about that, man. I think they got a good relationship with them guys down south, man. they really like going to like the Dothan area. I think they have a really good connection with Mary G. Montgomery, which went 10-0 for the first time in their program history.
Okay.
The Foley didn't. I don't think they had technically a good year by their standards, but they're fairly good. Perry Thompson, Uno, he's committed to Auburn, so I'm just like they got guys down there that they really really like. So, being selfish, I would love to see Thompson you play up in Hoover 7v7. I think it would bring a light like no other in the center of our state. But I don't think they will give it to us that early in the season, man. I just don't think so.
Man, come on, they got to show some love to Alabaster. But moving on to the second question, you're going to be our small hoop segment because we're running out of time.
Okay.
Will you be at the Bragging Rights Rock City showcase? I'm assuming in Huntsville.
I think that is in the Rocket City. So Huntsville, I might go. I might go. It'll be some talent there. I think Caleb and them will be in it. So I think I might go.
All right, brother. I may see you there, but that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it to Najee.
Yeah, I just got two, man. I'm gonna be sure. Definitely love your stuff, man, and what you do. Unlock your game as far as just covering everything from the southeast to west to all on the East Coast, man. Definitely appreciate you and keep doing what you're doing, man. Real quick. What's just your thoughts, man, on teams coming up, right? You mentioned Moody. I've been telling Bacon about Moody. We got to see them at Georgia Tech 707, man. I got a good relationship with them out there. I'm trying to go to that game on the 22nd when they play Gainesville. I've been talking that up with Bacon. How good of a thrilling of a matchup I think that's going to be for both teams. Obviously, Coach Niblett coming back home. But who are some teams that we should put on our radar that's going to be good next year, whether that's 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A? Just who's some teams we should look out for? Who's some kind of slept on teams as well?
Oh man, dude, that's a great question. 6A, I'll give you one for 6A. 6A, I would say probably Spain Park. Spain Park moved down from 7A. They got a quarterback that's class 26. His name is Brock Bailey. You can look him up on 24/7, Rivals, all that stuff. He can spin it. They actually came in second at that Hoover 7v7. So yeah, if y'all have some archive files, y'all probably can look him up and see what he about. Let me think 7A real quick. 7A. I probably would go Mary G. I think Mary G is probably pretty good. I know they lost their quarterback, but I think they still have pretty much their staff intact. So I think they had a really good year as far as their staff. And I think they can, possibly run it back because I don't think that outside of Central Phoenix City won the 7A this year. I know Thompson going to try to get their redemption tour going on and stuff like that. But Mary G was one of those programs where I felt like was really, really good. They went 10-0 this year, and I think they're going to be pretty good this year again. For 5A, let me think for 5A real quick. 5A, it'd be hard for me to say Moody now. I think Moody's going to be kind of like one of those programs where they got to the third round. They was really good. I know they lost a good bit of talent, but they should still be well coached enough to get to the second or third round. Let me think of some more programs up in there. That's 5A. I'm really trying to think off my head. Like I ain't looking nothing up for you guys. Like I'm thinking off my head. You know what I'm saying?
That's just how thorough you are, man.
Yeah. Let me think. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna go 4A. 4A. I probably would say West Morgan. Like West, that's an underrated one for you. Bro. West Morgan High School. This was probably their best year. They lost to Cherokee County in the semifinal. Yeah, no. In the quarterfinals round, they lost back-to-back times to Cherokee County, which lost back-to-back times in the championship in 4A football. So that just goes to show you how good West Morgan is this year and last year. So they're really good. Cherokee County is a school that it shouldn't be too hard for you to look that program up. Back-to-back red maps. They lost in the finals twice to two really good teams. Andalusia, which had like Power 5 guys, and then on top of that, they had Montgomery Catholic, which had like a really good quarterback. 3A, can't think enough 3A for y'all real quick. And then I'll probably go Decatur Heritage Christian Academy for 1A. That's probably about it. And then 2A, probably like it's some country schools, but Pisgah and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They pretty good.
Okay, got you. And then last one, man, will you be at the 707 again when Hoover hosted this year? And then I guess, man, just real quick, just to pick your brain, man, what advice would you give just upcoming journalists that want to do what you do, man, and want to be out there and kind of, expose themselves and kind of put themselves on the map in the industry, kind of like, who is kind of where you get to where you can be, to kind of start, and then your hard work kind of speaks for itself. What would you tell them?
Yeah, for sure. I think first of all, man, you gotta put yourself out there, and not even just put yourself out there, but you gotta know how to first, it just comes with just how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? Like just building connections and how you treat folks, regardless if they high on the totem pole or if they they low. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to treat everybody with humility and respect, because you never know who gonna be the next one that might be the next one. You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes for athletes, and that goes for us guys as journalists, and just making brands and media stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know who you might know in the next 5 to 10 years that I need to be knowing. You know what I'm saying? So it just all goes with that. But at the Hoover 7v7, man, I just think that just continuing, if you're gonna start, you're gonna see me there. You'll see me there. But I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? But just continue to connect with guys that really take the craft serious and not just looking for clout at the 7v7 or at the basketball tournament or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The Rocket City Classic or anything, that Huntsville Hoop City Classic. Don't follow those guys, man. Follow the guys that's really connected to their sport, really want to do something and better their craft, not just for themselves, but they want to put on for the athletes that have their attention and following them, because that's the main thing. We're trying to change the athletes, you know what I'm saying? The athletes' perspective. We ain't trying to gain our own clout. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys knowing the brand, and I feel like the brand is very recognizable between states and amongst my state. But for one thing that I want people to know, I'm a real person. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you how I feel, and it's never gonna be disrespectful. I might be critical, you know what I'm saying? And I might have a thought that might not go against or go with what you think, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it all comes from a place of love. That's what I want my athletes to know. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. I'll throw it to you, Jerome, for what you got.
No, definitely. Excuse me. Definitely, I think that you got a good brand. I just follow you from inside the hashes, so you guys.
I'm follow you right now.
Yeah, unlock your game. They got 13,000 on Instagram right now. His content is really good content as well, so make sure you check that out, man. I really do appreciate you pinning us on game about the schools down in Alabama. I'm a Jersey guy. I just came down to Georgia, so I'm not familiar with South football, and I didn't know how crazy and wild it was, and how many teams are down here. My first exposure to Alabama football was Central versus IG Academy last year. I'm real close with IG Academy. I've been there a lot of times, and in that game, y'all was giving it to them at first. Y'all was giving it to them. Now, IG Academy is a different school. You know what I mean? They get a lot of talent down there.
Right.
From across the country. But you guys look pretty good out of there. Is there any other elite teams that you want to let us know about outside of the ones that you already kind of mentioned?
Elite teams. Like I said, Cherokee County is one of them for 4A. If you want to check real deep, you can actually follow them on. I'm gonna give you guys that I know that's on Instagram, so you can really check them out. So Cherokee County, you can look them up. They are the Warriors. They're yellow, black, and white. So you can check them out. Like I said, back time they went to the semis. Check them out for real. Excuse me. Another program. I wouldn't say they're elite, but they elite for the North. I feel like they can be elite. James Clemens High School. They had a guy that really flew under the radar, man. Literally, his name is Jalen Brown. He was 6'5", had long wingspan potential. Defensive end, he was probably about 265, maybe 270, somewhere around off in there. And he went from I kid you not, he went from Southern Illinois to being committed to Mizzou. You know what I'm saying? In one season. One season. I seen him in March. He only had Southern Illinois. Now, January 2nd, probably he committed 3 weeks ago. He committed to Mizzou. And he ended with 20-something offers. Had a really good season. So James Clemens is another one. They're the Jets. They're 7A. They up here in the North. 2 years ago, they went 10-0. They had a quarterback that played. His name is Gio Lopez. He just threw 4 touchdowns against Eastern Michigan. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that when they had that big old brawl at the end. You know what I'm saying? They had that stuff going on. So Gio Lopez, he was a really cool guy. Left-handed quarterback, tossed 10 touchdowns. So I would say they for the North, especially for the North. But definitely check out Cherokee County if you want to look up. Because you ain't gonna get that information right there. You ain't gonna get nobody to tell you Cherokee County is gonna be a top-notch program. Everybody gonna tell you like Hoover, Thompson, or you know what I'm saying, some Central now. They're gonna say Auburn or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody ain't gonna tell you Cherokee County. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't gonna tell you like Montgomery Catholic. Nobody ain't gonna tell you like he already knew about Moody because Gainesville, you know what I'm saying? But nobody ain't gonna tell you Moody, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I'm gonna tell you something different to make you be like, dang, like that boy know his stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last question, brother. We'll let you go. I just want you to elaborate a little bit more on what you said about just changing the perspective of the athlete. That was big.
Yeah. So like I said, just changing the perspective of the athletes, man. Because like I said, I feel like they follow a lot of. I mean, we all probably above like what 25 in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody above 25. So we done kind of, you know what I'm saying, realize what our potential is, what we gonna become, all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of got a good grasp on what we need to be or what we want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the kids, man, you got to still think that they kids at the end of the day. So they 18 or younger. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they hit superstardom like Ryan Williams, 16 years old, getting UA All-American and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know how everybody put them on the pedestal and everybody think they should be a certain type of way, but at the same time, they still playing Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? They still playing, you know what I'm saying, Madden, 2K, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they still kids, just like we was once kids at that particular point in time. We just didn't have all the, you know, bells and whistles like they got going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just kind of like always keeping them first, always keeping them in mind when you put out any piece of content that's positive, or even it might not be per se positive. It might be something critical. You know what I'm saying? It might be something being like something simple like who got the best hands. You know what I'm saying? You might think that somebody else got the best hands better than Ryan Williams, and he might take that wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if you really built that relationship with him, and if he really knows you, or someone knows your content that knows him, he knows it's coming from a standpoint of being like, okay, well, I'm gonna prove him wrong because that's my, like, he done set the standard, he done set the bar. It ain't no hating type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like from our standpoint of as video creators, as you know, journalists, as us being like black men too in general, man, because we don't have a lot of us in the room too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we gotta tap into where we're actually not even really accepted, but kind of like we got to tap into where we can be heard and felt the most. You know what I'm saying? And once we build that, like I don't think there's not, like I said, when I go to these Super 7 events and stuff like that, yeah, like I might not have like, you know, I might not have been working at a news station for 20 plus years or whatever like that, but they coming to me asking me questions because I'm in cool with all the players. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in cool with all the players. I'm getting cool with all the coaches. I'm pulling the same I'm pulling the same card that they can pull just because they got a media pass on. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just like, once you build those connects and once you build those type of resources up within your brand, I think that's when truly the sky is the limit, because I'm just like, nobody, not once again, not in an arrogant way, but that's when you become the influence. You know what I'm saying? That's when you become where you can pull the card if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as long as you're doing it in a good way, then that's when you start to get traction. That's when I've been able to see traction in my business. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that's what we do, and we've been able to connect with, like I said, amazing guys all over the states, man. So I'm just like, just continue just to be yourself and just continue to build a brand that you would want. You know what I'm saying? That when you was a kid and you was 16 playing linebacker or playing quarterback or catching the ball for touchdowns and stuff like that, and you wish that, you know what I'm saying, somebody was out there watching you or video recording you, be that person for these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Be something that you wanted when you was growing up.
Profound, brother.
I got one more. I know.
We good, man. I would like to. Go ahead.
Because like I said earlier, I'm from Georgia. I'm from Jersey. I moved down to Georgia. And you hear about the top 4 or 5 states in America that's a football bet. You got your colleges, you got your Texases, you got Florida, you got Georgia. I think those are at least to me are the top four guys. Georgia, I feel like is known for the DBs and wide receivers. Texas for the quarterbacks. Florida for their overall athletes. What is Alabama known for?
First of all, I'm glad you asked me this question. Second of all, Alabama is, I can say this confidently, Alabama's, I think, is a top 5 state. But then, like, you know what I'm saying, nationally ranked. Like, I feel like we stamped that this year. I can say that. What we known for, though, right now, I probably would say we are known for, we're not really known. It's hard because I'm just like, when you think of Texas, you think QBs or you think like
special receivers.
Yeah, special. I'm talking about like special top the line receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you think Florida, you think speed, you think DBs, you think receivers. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. Sometimes when you think Georgia or Texas, you think big men. You know what I'm saying? You think linemen. You think DL. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. As far as Alabama, man, all I can say is like last year, like we just got guys. Like we just the top of the line guys are athletes, but they really are like DBs. You know what I'm saying? Like they're profound, solid DB work. You know what I'm saying? And then we got some guys that play receiver, but we ain't really known for receivers like that. So if I were to say what we known for, I would say that we probably either known for having solid all-around athletes or DBs that can play both sides. And then we got between Peter Woods and then a couple other guys that we had along the way. We had a couple D lines. So we haven't really kind of set a mantra of what we got, and that's all we got, or that's the main thing we got. But I would say that we have some amazing like skill position players right now. Like, not the 24 class was special. Like I said, Jalen Mbakwe, Mario Craver, that's from Clay Charlottesville, Malcolm Simmons, that's Benjamin Russell. That's another one. That's another program that y'all should check out, Benjamin Russell. 2 years ago when you had Earl Woods, that's now Jacksonville State quarterback. He a quarterback, but he at once upon a time he played DB as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's a lot of different aspects to what we got. But I would say we are top 5 at. We're gonna be top 5, if not top 5 already, in nationally ranked too.
Real quick, I just want to say the last point. Bacon, this is what I've been telling you. Alabama special is just what have you been saying, bro? When we went to these tournaments, bro, they just don't have the exposure.
Coverage, yeah.
It's there, bro. Like, you talk about talent, it's eye for eye to me with Georgia. It just don't have the same type of exposure. That's the only difference in my opinion.
We definitely just piggybacking off of what he said, like when you think of Georgia or any of them programs that's in Georgia, like they can be an average. They can be like, I don't even want to say they average, but like, because I really don't know North Cobb like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I know they not like Buford, or I know they not like any of the other schools that's like that for real. But like North Cobb got better coverage than some of our top premier programs like in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it's terrible. Like, it shouldn't be like that. Like, I'm talking about Oxford High School, Gaston City, 2 other programs that y'all can check out. You know what I'm saying? Oxford just got like a $10 million like a indoor. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So they got like a big old indoor. Same thing with Orange Beach and 4A football. Like, they got a big old indoor facility that's going to be built this year, now 2024. But and Gaston City just went to like the 3rd round, lost to Parker, which I think gonna win 6A this upcoming year. But yeah, man, like I said, we just don't have the media coverage. And like I said, some of that stuff, it still starts. I feel responsible in a way, because like I said, when I first started, like there was no media coverage. I wouldn't say it was no media coverage, but there was like maybe like 1 or 2 guys that I really consider OGs, because I'm just like, they covered me when I was in school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, they was on Twitter back when Twitter wasn't, it was like you was subtweeting. and like you was doing when you was doing one of my followers, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
OMF, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So they was doing that when we was doing this. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's changing now, and I still try to stay closely connected with some of those guys, but I just think that it is slowly evolving. It needs to continue to pick up the pace. You know what I'm saying? Pick up the pace a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. Last one, brother. I promise this is the last one. Let somebody else get last one, but you know what I'm saying, brother. You just so profound coming on. You know what I'm saying? Not just as a journalist, but as a man. So you know what I'm saying, how did you cultivate, you know what I'm saying, the man we're talking to today? Because I mean, you may have always been in this, you know what I'm saying, business, but I know in this life, you know what I'm saying, this journey, this trial and tribulation that we get, we have lows, we have highs, and it's a repeating cycle. So just kind of what cultivated you into the man you are today? What principles do you kind of keep close to your heart?
I guess one of them I could relay it back to football, because that's like one of that's like my love. Like that's like one of my love sports. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that sport. I remember telling myself, and like this is no joke, like I remember telling myself, like it was a guy that was starting in front of me, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to start that year, and it happened like maybe the third to last game of the season. Dude ended up quitting, but I outworked him, and then the coach put me in the position in front of it, and then that made him quit. You know what I'm saying? Like he quit after that. You know what I'm saying? But before all that had happened and transpired, it was like, if I wanted to do anything, I told myself at 15 that I was gonna work. If I couldn't get bigger than nobody, or I couldn't get no more stronger than the strongest person, or faster than anybody, I told myself I ain't gonna be outworked. Like I'll outwork anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll work harder than anybody that you put me up against. And they might beat me. They might get me that one time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get you again. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that I took that kind of like that one lesson. I got a lot of lessons, but I took that lesson particularly into like just business, to relationship, to, you know what I'm saying, friendships, to anything, that you just gotta continue to work your craft. You ain't perfect, nobody ain't perfect, but at the same time, you just gotta continue to work who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like wake up every day and work whoever you can be better than yourself that you wake up to every day. You know what I'm saying? And just continue to do that. And other things outside of that, man, just kind of like taking hard losses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, losing jobs, you know what I'm saying? Losing opportunities, what you feel like is opportunities, you know what I'm saying? But it always opens a door up for another opportunity. Like that, once that door shuts, it's not really, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Always going forward into whatever next journey is for you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll end up where you're supposed to be. Like you might not feel like you're where you need to be, but you're where you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So just continue to keep that kind of in line and in order. And I ain't saying it ain't easy, because we all go through some shit. We might be going through something right now. Yeah, I ain't trying to cuss on your thing, but you
cuss all the time on here.
you might be going through something wrong right now, but at the same time, like us four getting on here, it might make you feel a little bit better about being like, man, I picked up something that such and such was talking about, or I picked up something that he was talking about, or who he was talking about, and it might make you feel like, man, this journey of sports journalism, or this journey of sports content creation is worth it. You know what I'm saying? And just keep on doing what you're doing. That's the main part, especially when it comes to, you know, us. Like I said, it ain't many of us doing it, and it might be a lot of doing it, but it ain't many of us that's getting the kind of love and recognition and the dollars behind it. I'll say that.
That's it, man. Well, if nobody else has anything, speak now, forever hold your peace. This has been a legendary interview. We appreciate your time with Drew Gilmer. Unlock Your Game, man. This is First and Foremost podcast, but we don't just give you the spiel. We keep it real, brother, and that's what the brother did today. So, man, we appreciate you, man, really.
I like that. I like to say one thing, man, before we get off. Jerome, Najee, Bacon, man, it's been a pleasure talking to y'all, man. Just want to continue building relationships with y'all. I know a podcast is something that I've been looking into doing too as well. So I mean, if we can whatever you guys talk on the First and Foremost, we can relay that back to what we do it here at Unlock Your Game, man. I'd love to help you guys anytime that we can, and just let us continue to build relationships and just keep it going forward, man.
Most definitely, man.
Yes, sir. Sound good.
Yep, but like I said, I just appreciate y'all for having me on, and like I said, if it'll be super dope to cut clips and like post this stuff on Instagram.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Next time, Unlock Your Game, we gotta get your face though, man, because it's gonna be even better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So I can give you my face right now. I didn't want to get on. Hold on, real quick. I get you.
I ain't from us, man. There you go. We need to see it.
I gotta get a haircut, man.
Yeah, we understand, brother. We understand.
I get it, brother. No problem, man. I'll be looking like that sometimes too.
Yeah, I had to get it. See, I'm all scruffy at the top right there. But man. Like I said, it's especially that's the one thing I like. The people that they see my brand, but they feel me first. You know what I'm saying? And I know that was something I was gonna hop on here with my face on here earlier, but I was like, man, I really ain't got no haircut. I really ain't gonna do that. And then I had to get them next time. But yeah, I like I said, I really appreciate the love. And honestly, kind of like the continuity that even the first time being on the show, you know what I'm saying? Like really good questions, really good in detail conversation. And this ain't even like a podcast. This is my first time doing a podcast, you know what I'm saying? But this ain't my first time doing like a talk show, radio show, or anything like that. So I'm very like I've done that stuff before too. And I always thought it was really cool to kind of like get not only your brand out there, but also kind of like your personality with it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Facts.
You got to do that, man. You got to put a face behind the brand, because if you don't, they'll know your brand, but then they're gonna be like, oh, well, who's behind this?
Who's behind it? Yeah, definitely.
Facts. But if you got time, we might have to do a little sit down at Birmingham, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I know that I've seen some of your stuff before. We can definitely do a sit down and talk about some things, and then, like I said, cut some clips up and things.
For sure.
And post
get the Patreon game going.
Yeah, it'll definitely be dope. And like I said, what I told you before, Georgia and Alabama, like that's a real thing that need to happen more often. You know what I'm saying? Like more content collaborations on that end, and then bringing it up the East Coast with Jerome and things like that. I think that'll be a great thing to influence and change the narrative of that too. Because y'all got some real good athletes in the Baltimore, Maryland area, DC.
Facts, man.
I even seen a guy on OT the other day that was from Connecticut. I was like, I ain't never seen nobody ball from Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? So I got some dogs up there, and especially in that metro part. You know what I'm saying? That DC, that DMV, stuff like that. So and honestly, like I said, I wouldn't be the person to talk about it because I ain't versed on that stuff. But at the same time, I've seen it before, and I'm like, they got some dogs. You know what I'm saying? And they covering their dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I can get down with that.
Facts.
One last thing that I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm a Ravens fan, so I've been looking at this Bengal stuff the whole time.
Go ahead and get him, man. Go ahead and get him.
For the longest, I gotta support my team. We having a down year. Hey, I will say this though. We do not hate Ravens fans, bro. We have a mutual respect for y'all. Look, man, this is y'all year, man. Y'all go win this shit, man. Okay.
We're gonna win it. We're gonna win it.
Go do y'all thing, bro.
I promise we're gonna win it. The only team I cannot stand, and you might think I might say the Steelers, but I cannot stand the Browns, bro. I cannot stand the Browns. Like I just feel
Pittsburgh.
But y'all rivalry different. Y'all knocking folks out. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all killing
the same. I can't stand them, dog. No, like, I hate Pittsburgh.
I honestly, of all the years that I watched Steelers football, I never had a hate for Troy Polamalu. I never had a hate for, Hines Ward.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a hate for, Ben Roethlisberger. I might have been like, man, tackle him, like get him down. You know what I'm saying? I never had a hate for Le'Veon Bell. I never had a hate for James Harrison. I never had a hate for any of those guys. I always had respect because I'm just like, those guys are football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as the Bengals, man, I always love, even though Pat Jones is kind of like, up in the air a little bit. I kind of got love for him. Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, the OG Chad Johnson. Like even TJ Husmanzada. Like I got respect for those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Who's your mama?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But them Browns, like
why you let the Browns?
Man, they like a baby brother that she just be like, man, if you don't go somewhere, man, like get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Still a little win here and there.
Yeah, man, trying to knock us out the playoffs, make us 8-8. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that, man. But they got boy Joe Flacco, so I can't hate on that. They got Joe balling, and Coop, but he was hurt. But they balling.
Yeah, Joe Cool.
Yep. But that's all I got, man. I just had to say that, man.
Yes, sir, man. Now we appreciate you, man, coming on Lock Your Game, man. We're gonna definitely support, man. Continue to if you got any content, tag us. I'll probably start tagging into my stuff too, man.
Yeah.
And we'll just retweet, like it, just give it that exposure, man. Get you over here in Georgia area too, man. Like you said, cultivating that Georgia-Bama relationship, man. So you locked in.
Where are y'all from in the state of Georgia? Jerome, you said you from up north, right?
Well, I was in Jersey. I'm in Georgia now. I live in Georgia now, but I'm east of Atlanta.
East of Atlanta. Okay, what about y'all two?
I'm Metro. Yeah, I'm Metro.
You both y'all Metro?
Kind of. I'm south side of Georgia, man. So Noonan, if you ever heard, well, Creekside, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. See, the one time because I've been to Carrollton, like right around that state line.
Oh, yeah.
Area, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Carrollton is an easy school for me to hit especially when I'm back in my home city. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hit, I could go Bremen and Carrollton and you know what I'm saying, get into and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So definitely for sure when it get deeper into time where we might see Juju and all them, like let's tap in for real. And then the same thing. When y'all come over, y'all come to Hoover 7v7, I'll put y'all on some more 7v7s that might be going on in the area and stuff like that. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Much love, brother.
Yeah, for sure. All
right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Y'all going.
All right, y'all too, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So that's Unlock the Game, man. We not gonna do no hoops tonight. It went over. I'm gonna spare Jerome. I know Jerome probably like, man, what the hell we doing? We time to go. So I ain't gonna waste no more time, man. But as you guys can see, man, this is the podcast you want to be at. Want to thank all the fans, thank all the comments. Go like, comment, subscribe. Everything is linked right there. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out, man. We are growing as a unit with camaraderie and continuity, all three of us together, and also with our brands inside the hashes, doing big stuff. Arvon Baker with Bacon Network doing big stuff. Me, Sports Talk with Naj, all the content I got. Naj, you work everywhere. So y'all stay tuned for that, man. We're gonna go and update hoops next time. But yeah, man, that's all we got. But like I said, with this podcast, we're gonna be talking about everything, man. The Georgia, the Bama, all over, man. It's a fun podcast. It's where you want to be on your Tuesday night.
Life.
Life, tips, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna throw it to Jerome for the closing thoughts to close us out for the rest of the night.
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody. We got over 38 people on Instagram. That's just Instagram by itself. I see people trickling in and out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. So again, guys, we appreciate all you guys looking in and checking us out. Shout out to our guests. We had Unlock Your Game on here. We also had
Josiah Smith.
Josiah Smith. Appreciate all our guests. We got a couple of guests already lined up in here. We're doing our podcast, and we got people who are already like, hey, I want to get on your podcast, which is great. So we got some guests. We're gonna have some future guests coming on here, guys. So again, we appreciate you guys. Like Nas said, definitely hit that like and subscribe on all social medias down there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We're all on those platforms. Make sure you check us out. We're gonna be live on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all that, man. Check us out on YouTube. We got the nice little thumbnail thing. So if you guys are, make sure that you go on the YouTube channel and like and subscribe and hit that notification button on there so you know when we are live, because we do put that on there. We got the nice little graphics on there that you can
courtesy
see.
Of Jerome.
I'm plugging in a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, look, hey, listen. It's all about marketing, man. That's what we're doing, man. We're marketing our brand. Do some great stuff. Football, basketball, hoops. So again, appreciate each one of you guys. So again, I'm Jerome Jones. We got Nas right over there. There you go. Yeah. Nas right over here. We got Bacon right at the bottom. Man, we appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy y'all.
Peace and love, families.
Go Blue. Let's get it. Have a good one, guys.